And what is the framework? The framework was risk, control, and impact. So guys, I just share my screen right now. So I'm asking you all uh, if my screen is visible to all of you. Just write here in the chat or give me a thumbs up through the reaction portion. Okay. And I think it's visible to all. What we have discussed, a framework. The framework was risk, control, and impact. Clear? Now today we are going to focus on the another side of the business. Means last Sunday we cover outgoing cash of the business, means accounts payable section, or we can say procure to pay section. Today we will cover incoming cash of business, means AR section of the business. And honestly, this side is even more critical because no matter how much revenue a company books, if cash is not coming into the bank, business cannot run. So today's focus is order to cash, means O2C, or we can say accounts receivable, AR. Clear? From a control and business perspective. From a control and business perspective, and as per the interviewer's expectation, we discussed O2C process today. Guys, I'm not going in the basics because I already know, and I assume that you already know the basics. Basics means journal entry, debit, and credits. You already know about all these things. Okay, so I'm explaining only the things which are more important as per the interview prospect. Clear? Okay, let's start today's deep dive. And again, we will start today with a powerful line, or we can say with a powerful quote. And the line is, you are not processing transactions, you are protecting companies' cash. Now, in P2P, you are protecting outgoing cash. In AR, you are ensuring incoming cash. Now let's understand mindset difference. What is the difference in the mindset? And I think we also discussed this portion in our last session. Let me pop up my screen a bit. Yeah. So let's understand the mindset. There are two types of peoples, or we can say two types of candidates are there. One, processor mindset, and another, owner mindset. Clear? A processor mindset people are recording invoices only or wait for customer to pay. And another side, an owner mindset people track whether payment is receiving or not, follow ups with the customers, understand delays, and resolve disputes, and also ensure money comes into company. So tell me one thing here, who is more valuable for business, whether a processor mindset people or a owner mindset people? Always remember one thing here, Selection happens when you show ownership. If you are only processing the tasks, everyone can do these things, or everyone can explain the task during the interviews. If you will be able to explain the ownership, if you will be able to explain the why behind the task, then you will be the different from the other candidates. Okay. Let's understand another part of this thing, or we can say understanding AR role. What is the role of AR in business? Let's simplify AR role in business. What AR peoples are doing? AR peoples control incoming cash. AR ensure company gets paid, and AR drives liquidity. Clear? Now two lines I want to remember, very important here. You can see on your screen. Revenue is vanity and cash collection is reality. What does this mean? Company can show high sales in reports, but if customers don't pay, the revenue is just on paper. Clear? And the second line, revenue is booked in accounting, but cash is what runs the business. Let me explain it. Business business automatically needs and continuously need to pay the basic things like salaries, rent, and expenses. All are paid using cash, not revenue numbers. So, in interviews, instead of saying I work in AR, you need to say what you need to say to enhance your analytical thinking or to show your ownership thinking. You need to explain during interview like I ensure timely collections and control over incoming cash to support business liquidity. Now you are sounding like someone who understands the business, not only just processing the task of AR. Clear? Next thing, O2C end-to-end process. What is O2C process? It is a simple thing. We can understand in a simple step. First, we received orders, sales orders, generate billings, process for payment, applied for cash, and ultimately collect the cash. That's it. Simple. Means what's happening here, there is a very simple thing. And everyone can explain this during the interview. Even a people who are going to face any interview related to AR, everyone can explain this thing during the interview. But what happens during the interview? What is the reality? Let me show you one thing here. Now, here is where most candidate stops. At the first portion. First portion means only just explain the process of O2C, order to cash. But what strong candidates do during the interview? Let me show you one thing here. A strong candidate thinks about what can go wrong. Means the another four lines. Let's see. If billing is wrong, what's happening? Means they are thinking beyond the task. If billing is wrong, what's happening? Customers will raise disputes. If payment is not tracked, then what? No clarity on receivable. And if cash is not applied, wrong customer balances. And if collections is delay, company don't get cash. So a clear insight here, or we can say an interview line here: if cash is not collected, revenue has no value. This is how you connect process to business. Means during interviews, you not only explain the process of order to cash, you also need to think beyond the task. You also need to think what's happen if billing is wrong, what's happen if cash is not applied, and what happen if payment is not tracked. Clear? So this is the difference between the normal candidates and the candidates who think beyond the task, who reflect the impact and the why behind the task. Clear? Another thing and another part and very important part of AR. Now let's understand one important concept of working capital. In simple terms, we can say working capital means money available in business to run daily activities. We can say to operate the day-to-day expenses, to operate the day-to-day transactions of the business, we require working capital in the business. And now AR directly impact this. How AR directly impact this? Let me brief you. Company sold goods worth 10 lakh, but customer has not paid yet. What's happening in this situation? Think a bit here. Customer doesn't have cash in hand. Sorry, company doesn't have cash in hand. And now company still has to pay. What company has to pay? Salaries, rent to vendors, means daily payments of company. Company has to pay. So what will happen? It will require borrow the money, and borrowing means interest cost, which reduce profit. So ultimately we can say delay in collection create a cash problem or generate cost problem as well. That's why we can say AR directly impact company survival, not just accounting. What is the overall impact here? AR directly impact company survival, not just accounting. So you need to think like this, or you need to explain during your interview the impact behind the working. Clear? One more thing, we need to analyze here the business impact, or we can say the impact of AR in business. Let's look at real business impact of AR activities. What's happened when delays in collection? It's directly create cash shortage, or we can say the shortage of cash. If unapplied cash, this create confusion in accounts, and if incorrect billing, customers, it creates customers disputes. Clear? And if there is a wrong application, customer dissatisfaction, or ultimately we can say if there are any error in any portion, it's create a audit risk. So one simple takeaway here. Every delay in AR, cash is stuck in business. If there is any delay, so cash is stuck in business and business survive. Clear? So business cannot use the money. If cash is stuck in business, business cannot use the money. So we need to think as this way as well. Okay. The another important thing in AR which we need to focus. Now let's understand DSO. What is DSO? Days sales outstanding. In simple term, we can say DSO tells us how many days it takes to collect money from the customers. Simply, you can see the examples here. If DSO is 30 days, 30 days, we can say the low DSO. Company collects money in 30 days. If DSO is 90 days, company take 3 months to collect. Means if there is a high DSO, poor collection efficiency. So what is better? The lower DSO is better because cash is coming faster. And high DSO means cash is stuck in business again. Collection is very slow and it create risk because if we have the longer time to collect, it create the risk or it create the bad debts as well. Okay. So one very important thing here, interview perspective, you need to say during the interview like, I monitor DSO and aging trends to understand collection efficiency and take actions on delays. How you need to reflect yourself during the interview? You need to, instead of saying just I maintain DSO or I analyze DSO, you need to say I monitor DSO and aging trends to understand collection efficiency and take actions on delays. This is a very powerful line here. This shows you understand the business. This shows you understand the metrics and the business impact of the working. Clear? And another important thing, cash applications. Now let's talk about cash applications. Simple meaning, matching customer payments with correct invoices is called cash application. Now, why is this important here? It's very important because it ensures correct customer balances. If done correctly, no confusion or no dispute. Or if it done wrong, customer will say, I already paid, and company will say, no, there is no payment received. And what's happening in this situation? This creates disputes. This creates delay in further payments. So one important line again here, a very important insight here. Incorrect cash application doesn't just impact accounting. Understand and listen carefully here, or you can also read on your screen. Incorrect cash application doesn't just impact accounting, it's impact customer trust. Clear? And one more thing, now, how you need to say during the interview, or how you need to explain during the interview, you need to explain like, I ensure accurate cache applications to maintain clarity and avoid disputes. This is very important or very strong wording here from interview perspective. Okay, let's move to the another thing, another slide, aging analysis. Many of you are understand aging analysis who are from AR backgrounds, and for those who are not from AP backgrounds also need to understand about the aging. So what is the aging analysis? Aging help us understand how old receivables are. If there is 0 to 30 days aging, it's normal. If there is 30 to 60 days aging, we need to do the follow-ups. Means follow-up required here. And if there is 60 plus days, it's become a high risk. Why? Because older invoices are harder to collect. So what should be approach? Approach should be early follow-ups, regular monitoring, escalations if needed. And always remember one thing again here. Delay in actions increase risk. Clear? So here is the basic things, interviewer's perspective or interview perspective for AP pupils specifically. And there is one more slide, and we already covered this thing in our earlier slide, but there is a revision here, or we can say there is a repeating things like for accounting mindset, or we can say processor mindset or collection mindset. Collection mindset, we can say the ownership mindset we discussed earlier. And what's happening here, if we reflect our collection mindset, if we reflect our ownership mindset during the interview, it create a big difference. And instead of explaining the task during the interview, you need to explain the logic behind the task. So ultimately, finally, we can say, or I can say the final takeaway from the AR portion here, your job is not to record revenue only. Your job is to convert it into cash. What is your job in AR? Your job is not to record only revenues. Your job is to convert it into cash. Clear? So till here we discussed the basic things of AR and AP. AP we covered in our earlier session, and AR we discussed a bit here in our today's session. Now going forward, we have approximately 10 minutes, and we discussed the major things, means the mixed things which are required for both domains, AP and AR, for both. Or we can say this is universal things for every role. You can also apply these things in AR, R2R or FP&A as well. And what are these things? Exceptional handling. Exceptional handling are exits in AP, AR or R2R, or even in FP&A as well. So I have the example for both AP and AR, but it's even equally important for R2R and FP&A as well. Okay. And what we need to look here at exceptional handling portion. I'm explaining only AR things right now. It's very important. And what are the interview focus things here? As you can see on your screen, short payment, unapplied cash, disputes, payment delays. These all are exceptions. Clear? So we need to think about these things, or not only we need to think, we need to explain the logic, the why behind these things. What's happen if short payment? What happen if unapplied cash? Clear? Ultimately, you need to show your ownership mindset. Okay. Now move towards a very important thing, and we can cover the earlier scenarios we have seen on the last slide. And I'm picking the example here for record. Sorry, record, not record report. It's from AR. The third step: customer paid 90K instead of 1 lakh. What's happening? How you explain this situation during interview? Because we are doing a deep dive of AR, so I pick the example of AR only. Even we have vendors and duplicate invoice. What will you do? They are posted. These all are examples from AP. But I'm picking the example from AR right now. So what if customer paid 90K instead of 1 lakh? What should be the strong approach? The strong approach should be identify differences, then validate payment, check the reason behind it, and coordinate with customer, resolve the discrepancy, and prevent future issues. Means there is a clear cut step. What you need to do? First, you need to identify the difference, identify the variance. Then you need to validate the payment. Check the clear reason, means you need to do the RAC, root cause analysis. Clear? And then coordinate with the customer and resolve the discrepancy, and also create a check, also create a control for future issues. This is the right approach. And we can say you need to explain these things during the interview, like these clear cut steps to reflect your ownership thinking. Clear? Let's move to another slide. Answers framework. What would be your answers framework? I already explained. Identify the issue, validate details, analyze root cause, resolve with stakeholder, and prevent future. Clear? So these are the steps you need to follow during answering the question, or these are applicable for all the things, not only for AR. It's applicable for AP as well. These are applicable for R2R as well. Okay. And what is the key insight from here? Without root cause, answer is incomplete. If you didn't do a root cause, if you are not able to find the reason behind the scenario or behind the error, or we can say behind the discrepancy, you will not be able to resolve the issue. So RAC is very important. RAC means root cause analysis. Clear? Now we have only 5 minutes remaining. So I need to improve my speed again. And now we need to take a look on control language. How you need to control your language during interviews. Even I in our earlier session I already discussed these things many times, but even again I'm explaining here. Instead of just using simple words, you need to use the standard MNC friendly words. Instead of saying I checked, you need to say I validate. Instead of saying I fixed the issue, you say I resolved the issue. Or instead to say I told the manager, you need to say I coordinate with the stakeholders. Clear? Means you don't say I validate, I ensure, I coordinate. Okay? Language create perspective. If you speak such as language during the interview, interviewer's perspective towards your thinking or towards your ownership thinking, or we can say towards your working, is different from the other candidates. One more thing, AI and future of AR, AP and AR. It's a very important thing here. Nowadays, all things goes very high. AI handles high volume repetitive transactions. Even going forward, I will cover the AI separately. But just for introduction here, if you are doing the repetitive task, you will be replaced by the AI soon. So you need to think about the logical things. Nowadays, in most of the MNCs, there are agentic AI are going to happen already. Means agentic AI already start working repetitive work. So if you are just processing the invoice or you are just processing the repeatable task, you will be replaced by the AI. Clear? And we have now 2 minutes only. This AI portion I will discuss in detail in our upcoming sessions. So it's just for introduction. Okay. And I think now I need to close the session, and then I will pick your queries as well. So let me close today's session with one message. In P2P, you protect company's outgoing cash. In O2C, you ensure incoming cash. Clear? So your role in finance is to control cash movement. If you understand this, your answers improve, your confidence improve, or your selection chances will automatically improve. Clear? Now we have last 1 minute here. Or if anyone of you have any question, you can ask. Or after, because the session automatically end at 6:40, so we will re-log in again. Then you will ask your questions, and I will give the answers of your queries. Even I am seeing here, I'm not seeing anyone here to raise the hand. If anyone of you have any query, raise your hand. I'll give you the chance to ask your query. Okay, so session is going to end automatically. We will log in again for your question answer session, and we will connect approximately 10 minutes. So we have another 10 minutes to discuss your queries. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm going to stop my screen here. And now session will automatically end, and we will log in again, and I'll give you all the unmute option.